Hi, we're Team KSA-Korea. To first explain our project, we're trying to use low-quality paper waste and then turn it into high-quality paper. But looking at the status quo, improving paper quality generally requires the removal of lignin. And this process uses bleaching chemicals like chlorine dioxide that have environmental contamination effects. So for our project, we decided to use more environment-friendly substances like genetically engineered yeasts.
So you guys might be wondering, what is lignin? Lignin is a main component of woody plants and gives plants physical protection from potential predators. Unfortunately, lignin limits the life of paper. Its presence causes paper to age poorly, turn yellowish-brown, and become acidic over time. Therefore, to make higher quality and durable paper, the lignin content must be decreased. A key part of our experiment are environmentally friendly enzymes that degrade lignin. There are two main groups of lignin-degrading enzymes, lignin-modifying enzymes, LME for short, and lignin-degrading auxiliary enzymes, LDA for short. Because lignin is extremely resistant to enzyme attack, it is imperative that we use both groups of enzymes to maximize the degradation of lignin. To describe the characteristics of both enzymes, the first enzyme we are using is called dye-decolorizing peroxidase. Peroxidase reaches its optimal activity at low pH values and degrades dyes from printers. The second enzyme utilizes lactase, an important component of the lignin-olytic complex for wood-decaying organisms.
To give a simple summary of our research, I've prepared this diagram. A key point in synthetic biology is the creation or synthesis of a special biologic system for a certain purpose. In this case, our purpose is to produce DYP and lactase that normally are expressed in Plytus ostritus and Tramis versicolor. Likewise, we have made many copies of a plasmid vector carrying the genes that encode for those enzymes and have inserted them into a type of yeast called Pica pastoris. In our yeast, we will produce and secrete mass copies of our desired enzyme. It is important to use a type of yeast which is in eukaryote, since prokaryotes such as E. coli don't have secretion systems that we need. After the mass production, the enzymes will degrade lignin for us.
There are three things that we need to focus on, which are excessive paper waste, detrimental effects to the environment, and the low quality of recycled paper. In terms of paper usage around the world, with some 423.3 million metric tons of paper consumed globally in 2017, the world's paper consumption is roughly equal to the amount of paper produced annually. So this first shows that paper usage and consumption rates are very high. This leads to the first point, which is that much of this consumed paper is put to waste and not recycled. Paper accounts for 25% of landfill waste and 33% of municipal waste. In 2017, only around 44.4% of waste paper was recycled in South Korea. Recycling paper itself is uncommon in Korea, leading to the waste of paper. Now, why is this bad? This leads to the second point, which is that the production of new paper is harmful to the environment. First, it is obvious that production of new paper involves deforestation and burning of trees, which emits carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Moreover, when paper rots, it emits methane, a greenhouse gas. Furthermore, most of the new paper made today entails bleaching the paper with chlorine compounds, which leads to these paper mills emitting many toxic chemicals that cause health and environmental problems. Now then, why, with all of these detrimental effects, do people not use more recycled paper? I'm sure that a lot of you have used recycled paper at least once in your life, which can be seen in books such as the American Cliff Notes textbooks. You can easily notice a difference in quality of the paper, especially in terms of texture with the rougher and coarser texture of the recycled paper. To add on to the point, recycled paper does not last long due to lignin, which causes the yellowing of old paper. These are problems that deter usage of recycled paper, leading to said harmful results. We focused on these issues when deciding on the direction of our project.
So why are we doing this? There are four main reasons. First of all, our method is eco-friendly. Instead of using harmful methods like bleaching to produce paper, we employ non-intrusive genetically engineered microorganisms to produce enzymes that degrade lignin. Then we can produce high-quality recycled paper, leading to decreased reliance on new paper and reduced paper waste. Secondly, we minimize wastefulness in the paper recycling process. By this, we mean that washing procedures, typical in bleaching processes with chloride dioxide and hydrogen peroxide, can be minimized to around 1/5 the original. We therefore use only 1/5 of the water typically used. Wastefulness of water, therefore, is circumvented with our method. Thirdly, we create good quality reusable paper that rivals conventional A4 paper. A typical misconception is that recycled paper is worse quality and is not worth the purchase. By disproving this misconception, we can increase the purchase of recycled paper in the paper industry, emphasizing the positive environmental impact it possesses. Finally, we aim to accentuate the true potential of recycling paper in the real world. In essence, we plan to reinvigorate public interest towards paper recycling by providing an illustrious example, a role model, if you will, for others to follow. Likewise, not only can we significantly expedite the paper recycling process, but also provide the public with the alternative solutions and information necessary to revive interest in reusable paper.
Last but not least, I would like to talk about our progress so far. Firstly, we created SNS accounts for the team. Hoping to reach a large audience, we created Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok accounts where we can upload a multitude of information ranging from promotional and education videos as well as our activities.
We're also the campaign team, and we're currently preparing a little competition for you guys where you can earn prizes, so you can look forward to that.
We also did interviews with professors in related fields to gather more information and receive feedback.
저희는 인터뷰 팀이고 프로페서들이나 리사이클링 페이퍼 관련된 컴퍼니들이 인터뷰하고 있어요.
Due to the current circumstances, we talked through Zoom calls, but overall the interview went great.
서베이 팀이고 항상 더 나은 질문을 만들기 위해서 머리를 싸매고 고민하고 있고.
Thirdly, we worked on labs to test our hypothesis. We thought this would be a good opportunity for us to see the actual steps that it takes to create good quality reusable paper utilizing enzymes.
We're the education team and we'll be trying to raise awareness about recycling paper.
We are planning on educating children once we go back to school. We are going to ask if we can have some time to explain the importance of paper recycling and why people should use reusable paper to kids in order to increase awareness. Thank you for listening, and we will appreciate it if you could also give us feedback on our project. Thank you.
Bye.